Hello everyone, welcome back to the NLC. We're going to jump into our second game of the day. BTXL going up against Nordavind. The other academy team returns, and Gulberg, excited to see this one. This might be our match of the day.
Yeah, I genuinely just think it is, going from how good these two teams are. Nordavind second place in their division and BTXL sharing first place right now. This should be a quote-unquote certified banger.
100% agree, and especially after yesterday's game, Nordavind and Tricked, I think Nordavind honestly looked pretty good and relatively decisive in that one. They've been on pretty decent form too, so I'm looking towards XL and saying, all right, you know, you had those two losses last week and the week before. You've had 2 wins since, and they've looked pretty good. Are you back as BTXL? Are you back to that team that just kind of walks into any team that isn't Fnatic Rising and you just dumps to them?
So here's what I'm looking at, because in recent interviews with Atvian, he was kind of explaining how they wanted to be better than they were last year. They needed to push themselves, and a lot of that came from their early aggression. A lot of that came from picks. You were able to accelerate the snowball from the early game already. So what I'm looking at here is some of these early game power spikes. Some of these early champions, you're able to just facilitate the map from the get-go. So I would expect some of these laners, like the Lysine, like the Renekton, they banned themselves, or the Jace, or the Silas, we've seen a lot of them on, to try and be hard prio for BTXL. I think it's going to be very much about the solo laners, but we also know Deadly, he's very fond of the Kalista, and most certainly something he can play now that Ezreal is already banned as well.
We saw the Kalista doing so much work last time BTXL played. There was that really awesome bot lane micro that Jamada broke down for us, and we're seeing very, very standard bans across the board. Nothing that really blows my mind, but again, because of this meta, there's so much power left unattended when the first round of bans come through, stuff like the Karma.
Yeah, and I think as far as the Kalista goes, I feel like, at least, you know, Deadly as an individual, he'll probably only pull that out when he's into things like the Ezreal, maybe the Jinx as well as another matchup he might feel okay to do it in. So we'll have to see what Nordavind rotate, because they did play it yesterday, but they had Thresh there to facilitate that pick. This time round, there is no Thresh. They banned it out themselves. The Karma first pick is more of a precautionary, I feel like, for the Rumble, because they don't want to first pick it. But instead, Sharp just goes towards the Xin Zhao. He played it yesterday. Now they're also going to lock in, I would imagine this Leona would be pretty good. They could also go down the Nocturne route. They just want to stack on, dive, and engage, and that's exactly what they're doing.
I feel like this is also a good takeaway, because as soon as you see your opponent lock in the Karma, you know that Xin Zhao is just going to synergize with that really well if you put that Karma onto a solo lane. So kind of takes a bit of the skirmishing potential away from that. Xin Zhao has been the jungler we've seen the most paired up with Lulu and Karma, so they can opt in for their own bot lane now. We've seen them go for that a lot, BTXL, where they just has a lot of prior for that and save the last pick for their solo laners instead. So with Tahm Kench being locked in, you can already say, all right, we know this Karma is going onto a solo lane, that especially since none of these champions really can't be played in the jungle. So there we have it, BTXL's at least bot lane and 1 solo laner.
That's an interesting rotation from BTXL. I wonder how Chris Berg wants to react, because I would imagine this is going to be his lock-in. He's just going to lean on the Kai'Sa, it looks like. I think there's no real harm in doing it. Whilst the Senna Tahm Kench lane can be a bit oppressive, just because obviously you've got the Leonos immediately match up into Tahm, you can probably survive it. It will get a bit frustrating, but once you hit those core item spikes, you get out of lane, you're going to be dominating those team fights. Now, I think I look towards Nordavind, you're probably removing away junglers, right? You probably want to remove away the Rumble at least, and then maybe something else. Though, the Rumble with this BTXL comp, I don't know how it would necessarily fit as a theme, so they might actually lean on some more aggressive picks, like the Volley Bear, for example, I think would be good. But instead, they want to remove away solo lanes, at least for now, with that Jace spell.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Rumble could be one, but I think most of the time it's just going to be out of pure, like, oh, we just don't want to play against us. Because with the Karma, with the Tahm Kench, it's not really the go-to one that you'd go for. Not too much backline dive with that Equalizer. Removing some of the harder matchups as well, Jace, this could be because they're looking for a specific play themselves. I'm not the biggest fan of a direct blind pick Jace, especially when you don't know the solo laners of Nordavind just yet. So I'm thinking that from the side of Nordavind, they're looking to pick something here that I'm not going to say the Narcissus, but I can imagine that would be a bad matchup. One of Curve's wonky matchups could possibly be what they're banning out for here.
I will say, I think if Karma is going to end up in a solo lane, there is actually a bit of room for the likes of a Nessus to show up. So XL might ban it if they're pre-planning to put this Karma in the top side, because I think with runes you can sustain through that lane as Nessus, and it's pretty hard to pick on him, almost regardless of what jungle matchup you end up with here, especially if Xin is allowed to occasionally sort of shield the stacked waves. So let's see what this last ban is. I think BTXL more or less kind of just want to remove another lane that can play well with the Xin Zhao. And they're going to do that with that LeBlanc ban. And now I look to Nordavind and I say, all right, what are you going to do here? You're going to sort of pick a flex pick that can sort of fit either into the mid lane and the top side. We're going to see something like Trist, or we're going to see something that can facilitate and skirmish with the Xin Zhao. Like maybe you take away silence, but there's not great ults really here to do that. So let's see as the time is ticking.
We're going to see the Rise being locked in. It's a little bit of flexibility, but not the most. We probably expect that to be going into the mid lane, and now it's on BTXL to decide where is this Karma going to go. Are you going to pick it into the Rise, or do you want to send it top, Wilberg?
Yeah, I'm also looking at the jungle right now, because if this Karma does go onto the mid lane, I'm hoping that it's more not so much for actually having priority in the mid lane, but not so much for actually facilitating the jungle instead. So I'm really looking forward to that jungle pick here. I think Volibear was a really intelligent ban. That would have been a great skirmisher to ban out. And now there's not too many that you could actually pick into to the Xin Zhao and win out in early skirmishes. You'd have to kind of go all the way back to what Trundle even perhaps to kind of go for that, but there's not too much ganks.
Lead to magic aggression, that's about it. But it's going to be Diana jungle for Markuna. I'd imagine it's not going to go into a solo lane. And this Nasus pick, I feel like Curb is pretty happy to actually lock it in. Karma and Set, both kind of whatever matchups. I would feel Set might be able to bully him out a little bit earlier, but once you get past, the sort of teething stages of the laning phase, you can just sit there and sustain for days. But let's see, because he's been hovering a couple picks. I think Wukong will probably be the most stable pick of all of them, and he's going to do that. So a lot of dive from Nordavind. I actually quite like the Rice pick in tandem with the Xin Zhao. It sets up for the skirmishing. You can attack the side lanes of your ultimate. You can cheat waves, and I think when you're dealing with, relatively low interaction lanes on the BTXL side, and honestly a jungle matchup too, there's not a lot of agency on the BTXL side for me. So I feel like Nordavind are actually going to have a pretty free time to do whatever they want in the early game, and they're gonna have to use that time really wisely to set themselves up.
That's my biggest worry right now. For BTXL's composition, you look at it and it plays kind of slow. This is not the kind of composition that just takes over and then starts a snowball. And then I'm taking a look onto Nordavind's, and they're completely fine with that. They love that there's nothing going on in the early game. Like, if they could just get scot-free to the mid game, get 2 items onto their carries, BTXL might have some issues. There's not too backline dive. There's not a lot of follow-up for Diana if you jumped in.
And I think the even bigger worry for me is I don't think there's much a scaling worry for Nordavind to worry about, because you've got Ryze, you've got Kai'Sa, Wukong's going to scale fine into the champions that are actually there on the side of BTXL too. Xin Zhao's never really going to be at threat of like getting bursted down or anything like that. So I think BTXL have a lot on their plate to deal with in the early game, and they're going to have to navigate some of these mid-game team fights once they hit their iron spikes on their own end really, really well. Otherwise, they're going to struggle, in my opinion.
This game could be a little bit of a slow one than we've seen in the past couple of days. Hopefully our 2 casters can stay more focused than my webcam. Hipbrain and Orcs, take it away.
That was a good throw. I'll give you that. That was a very good throw. Hello and welcome to the cast.
Maybe he messed with his webcam purposely for that throw.
Oh, do you think? Yeah, it was all the big brain play. Yeah, that was the game plan from him.
That's a conspiracy theory we're leading with.
What are you doing, Viperin? What are you doing? Messing with your webcam. Maybe had some greasy chips, gave his webcam a quick clean, and then left the grease on. Anyway, we're on to the Rift for our second game. Almost said first game. Our second game of the day. Could be in for a bit of a slower start here. Both of these teams going to be pretty happy just to sit back and chill, but you got a Kai'Sa, you got a Ryze. The later this game goes, the more scary that Ryze is going to become.
Yeah, and really, for the late game scaling for BTXL, you're kind of looking at the Senna and the Karma, but the thing is, the Karma isn't going to offer that much damage, and even Senna, I think about the scenarios where Senna is good, in which you can just outrange opponents. Against the likes of Wukong and Xin Zhao, it's actually pretty difficult to deal with, because yes, you outrange Xin Zhao by quite a substantial margin. You can just auto attack him from a distance unless he's engaging onto you. But he has his ult. That's obviously going to stop that. And then with Wukong, he's such a slippery target. I feel like if BTXL are playing forwards, moving up on Nordavind and catching them out, great. But if Nordavind should be able to play these team fights pretty well, and particularly look to dive on the critical members. So I want to see BTXL find some momentum. Their bot lane 2v2 is really good. Their mid jungle is pretty strong. And actually, if they can look to punish Ericsson, they have great CC set up for a gank. So that's what my eyes are on in this early game.
Both junglers are going to start off on their red buffs, so probably be avoiding each other. I have to kind of keep an eye on Sharp because I feel like if a jungler is going to be having an impact early, it will be him on the Xin Zhao. He does have the capabilities to set up for his team for these kind of earlier ganks. There's actually seen a person swap come out. Ericsson's gone up to the top lane to deal with Arome. Kerberos has gone into the mid lane to deal with Hatrix. We'll see whether or not XL decides to swap back or if this is just going to stay for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, they picked this Rise into the Karma because obviously it's something they can look to match the priority later on and even bully out the Karma. And as well, having the Rise in mid lane, as I was saying, this set Diana combo is really potentially punishing, so you want to avoid that when possible. Now, potential downside is Ericsson is going to be in a pretty long lane in this situation, so just need to be cautious about where Markoon is.
Well, for the moment, Markoon is on the bottom side of the map, working his way up. So he will be coming up. Sharp on the other side. He's now heading towards the bottom side, but Nordavind have got the push here, so I don't think we're going to see a tower dive come out. It'd be very advantageous to go on a tower dive on the Tom Kench. So probably just going to be a little bit more of a farm fest unless Sharp can find an opportunity to maybe gank mid, as Hatrix has got a bit of a shove into Curb.
Yeah, and with this bot lane 2v2, Deadly and Advian obviously get pushed in a bit because Advian needs to farm, can't really walk up without potentially getting harassed, but there's so much sustain between these two that they can kind of just trade again and again and again with Nordavind's bot lane, and they will win just purely by attrition. You can see obviously Advian with the Doran Shield and the Grey Health, that'll heal him up, and Deadly with a lot of sustain with his Piercing Light, so...
Yep. Go for a bit of a trade here. Getting a bit more damage on. Remember, he's got the Ignite, but he's going to hold it there as... Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Deadly gets jumped onto by Touch. A bunch of damage is going to get traded back and forth. Ultimately, BTXL come out with better health bars.
That's the thing. They will just heal up again and shake off that damage. It allows them to keep fighting. But for now, Nordavind doing a good job of applying that pressure, which is allowed Sharp to take that scuttle. Now he's moving mid. This mid jungle from Hatrix, Markoon, pretty strong, but the Xin Zhao Wukong can match.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like they're just going to reset. I was a bit worried there. Remember, Curb doesn't have the flash. He has Ignite. So if he got jumped onto, had very little way to kind of get himself out there other than his clone.
That's the thing. With that clone, obviously you can create some space, but having the Ignite offers a lot of damage in this early skirmish, especially against the Set, who has so much passive healing. It's something that they have to calculate when looking for these 2v2s. If they kill Curb instantly, absolutely great. Doesn't get a chance. It's a scenario where maybe Flash would be really valuable, but if they don't manage to instantly kill him, there's a lot of turnaround potential, and they have to respect that.
Yeah, he's going to teleport back into that mid lane and just look to continue to trade now. He's got a Sheen in his inventory. Those monkey bots pop a little bit harder. Top lane's a bit of a farm fest for now. Ericsson just catching waves. Same for Rome. Sharp is up here, but there is a ward in that Tri-Brush, and Sharp may be looking for a bit of a lane gank here.
Turns up to Ericsson. He is a bit low on mana. There it is.
Oh, they got the tether. There's the flash. The wind becomes lightning. Arome is going to get knocked up by the free Talon Strike. They can't finish it up as Ericsson has to flash for the overload. And that is the first kill over to the side of Nordavind.
Really nice play, don't see a lot of confidence to commit the flash early, but Arome, not too many tools to get out, especially as he already used his tether coming into that one. They find the kill. They punish the Karma. We've got to reset. We'll get the replay. So see here, Arome looks for a tether in this position to go for a bit of a heavier trade. That actually ends up backfiring here, as it allows them to push forward and find the engage. Arome does use the Manta to find a slow, but Ericsson just enough mana to finish him off in the back end. And we said this Rise, a lot of scaling on the pick, and you're already picking up a first kill and able to get a pretty nice back with that Lost Chapter and Tier.
That's a really nice back, a lot of mana. Ericsson's going to teleport back to the top lane to catch more and more waves. Nordavind's bot lane now feeling a little bit of pressure here from Advian and Deadly, who are shoving the wave into them.
Yeah, it's kind of, once you hit that sort of level 3 point, the engage threat of Nordavind's bot lane really gets negated, and you can just continue to harass, and start to push them back. So they're in a comfortable spot. Similar story with the top lane. Now that Ericsson has a ton of mana in hand, he can just basically spam abilities of the waves and isn't too concerned with his limited resources. He has nearly levels, especially now as he has level 6 and his overload is upgraded. So should see him taking a lot of pressure top, but
jumping in, Chrisberg has been caught out by the snare. Sharp jumps in. Not going to be able to get any additional damage off, and Chrisberg is going very, very low here. Comes to Diana, though. Marcoon's on the flank. Not got level 6, but Dill has the dash. Going in for the Crescent Slash into Chrisberg. Chrisberg flashes away. Touch locks down Marcoon, but the flash and the follow-up from the Lunar Rush into the Tongue Lash. And Touch able to just about escape this one as the Ignite comes down. But here comes Hatrix. He's got Flash, baby. He's got Face Breaker. And suplexes Chrisberg in. That's going to be 2 for BTXL. Like that.
Not sure what the game plan was, but I think Sharp is about to find out.
Yeah, Sharp's about to lose his life. Deadly secures the third and final kill in this bot lane.
And I mean, I feel like that was just so overforced by Nordavind. Initially, I was thinking, okay, they're just trying to crash the wave in and get a good reset. And I'm like, fair enough, completely respect it. But then they kept looking for the kill. And I'm like, there's no way Deadly and Advian die here. It just will never happen. And the only reason they're keeping you interested is because they know they have people arriving, and Nordavind just completely fell for it. We'll see this situation here. So this is just the re-engage afterwards, but Advian and Deadly still very healthy, still both have their flashes and an exhaust. Nordavind, we're never going to kill them in that scenario, and because of this overcommit, 3 of them go down. A massive influx of gold over to the side of BTXL. And
I feel like the only way
on Tom Kench, it's so easy.
I feel like the only way they were going to kill Advian or Deadly there was if Advian accidentally ate a minion instead. That's like the only way. That's complete human error. But as we head out of the replay, the Moonfall comes down. And that will be another kill for Deadly. 2 kills now on this Senna. We said they wanted to kind of chill and scale, but just going to inject himself a bit of gold as Curb. Goes in for the Cyclone onto Hatrix. Is looking for the second knock-up. Gets a lot of damage off. The Monkey Bot from the Sheen's actually really starting to hurt. Hatrix just about survives. But the Ignite will finish him off. Kerberos finds a solo kill.
And he's keeping up a streak of this. Kerberos just finding solo kill after solo kill in the top lane. Always taking a Knight. Now we see Marcoon. He's in trouble.
That's a lot of damage as Sharp jumps in. And the Railgun comes in for a bonus shielding, but it's not enough to finish off Sharp. The Crescent Guard will keep him alive, and Arome will just get chased down by the Blue Man. Overload after overload after overload into the Karma, as they're not going to be able to find that last one. XL now bringing in some backup. Arome looking for the tether. It's going to connect, and that's going to be a tongue lash to the back of the head as Ericsson just portals out and leaves Touch to die. Bye-bye, friend. Deadly is on a killing spree.
Touch not having a good game so far, just being caught out again and again, trying to go over aggressive on this Leona. And honestly, I've got to say, I personally would not enjoy playing Leona Kai'Sa into Tom Kench Senna. This is a bot lane where you want to be aggressive and push forward, and this is a bot lane from BTXL that completely negates that. Every time they're causing issues with this Leona. Now, leaning up to take this Rift Herald, and Kirb, no flash obviously in his summoners, no ult available. I think he has to back away here.
Yeah, Curb gonna clone and just jump away. It's gonna be a whole bunch of plates picked up here in this top lane. They've also got that Rift Herald now on the way up from Marcoon, but meanwhile in the mid lane, Hatrix may have found himself caught out as he goes for the jump back. Touch has been caught underneath the tower. Big face breaker. Touch with one last tower shot. Just about able to survive that. Not have been unable to find themselves a return kill here. As the Rift Herald didn't get used in the top lane. Chrisberg getting a bit of free time, starting to get some plates and some gold injected into him. I'd like to take a quick toggle of the gold and just see where we are. It's actually very marginal. Remember, this is fasting center, so naturally less gold, but
yeah,
to be down 300 right now, pretty good here for Deadly.
Yeah, those 3 kills definitely given a massive advantage. And typically with the fasting center, other than your support item, a lot of the gold you're going to be getting is from those kills. So nice to get those early in. Touch. Well, you know, flash from Advian for your ult. I would take that on the side of Nordavind, but I think it's kind of showing how confident this BTXL bot lane is. They are not afraid at all. And now Deadly's going to stop the recall.
I mean, he is a greedy catfish, but unable to find anything, unfortunately. The wave does get shoved in. Market may be looking for a setup into Curb. Remember, Curb not got that Ignite back yet. It's just going to use the dash forward into Roman. The Tether's going to connect. He has to pop the Cyclone, but that is going to be Curb trying to get himself a bit of a turnaround, but Marcoon able to finish him up.
Yeah, I mean, got baited in a little bit by that one. You see the Karma walking up, short range carry, and you're like, okay, yeah, I'll take a trade. But a bit of a bait once again. And I feel like, honestly, this is the biggest thing with Nordavind, is that they're just falling for all of these baits from BTXL. We saw bot lane, seen again top. Very easy for BTXL to capitalize on those. And now they'll throw that on that Rift Herald top. pick up the tower, and should be able to shove this in for a second charge here.
Yeah, looks like they're only just now on the side of Nordavind looking to deal with this. Curb's back up off respawn, so he'll be able to come through here and clear out the wave. The charge is going to happen. That tower is going to lose a lot of health here because of that. Whoop, there it goes. Up just over half. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, go on.
The early item spikes that'll be coming in should be pretty nice, honestly, for both sides. Divine Sundra picked up by Deadly pretty early for a fasting center and is a massive power spike, able to do a ton of damage on that. But we're going to see similar coming out from Kerberos. Chrisbrig now has that Kraken Slayer. And Ericsson, 120 CS, highest in the game with that Everfrost. This Rise is going to become a monster as the game goes on.
Yeah, he's already starting to hurt a little bit here. I've got the Kraken Slayer finished off onto Chrisbrig. There's some breaking news is coming in. If you guys head over to KitKat Gaming on Twitter, you can win yourself some free skins. How about that? What's your favorite skin in this game?
In this game? Oh, we'll have to get a quick rotation.
We'll have to go through all the skins here.
Not sure we're going to get a chance right now.
Not right now. Dive is coming in. The Moonfall is ready. Markoon will be spotted out by the Tribrush Ward, and Chrisbrig goes, it's time to leave as he supercharges away as Touch gets the solar flare off, and actually maybe a bit of a turnaround. Touch jumps in, Touch flashes out. Here comes Curb into the Cyclone. 2 members knocked up. Everfrost is down, and Nordavind are running away with the fight. The Railgun does a lot of damage, and here is the Moonfall onto 4. Hattrick slams in to follow up as well, but he's able to jump away to safety. Sharp comes in onto a Romate. A Romate almost goes down to the tower shot, and it is a 1-for-1 support for support.
I have no idea how that was just a 1-for-1. You could see Nordavind desperate to find the re-engage. They committed a lot to this fight and they wanted to make something happen. But Markoon, so good on the Diana there. Honestly, a travesty they only got one, but I can't wait to see that in a replay.
Hopefully we'll get it. Not going to finish up any more tower plates. Those will be falling off. XL gonna walk away maybe a little bit disappointed with the fact that they committed quite a lot there to only kill Touch.
They'll take it. They got a bunch of plates off the back of it. They forced TPs coming out from, although in fairness, they did actually lose out in terms of TPs, but a lot of summoners from the side of Nordavind. They're going to move back onto the map, and Dragon may well be the next objective to look for. They're just under 3k gold ahead. And obviously a lot of... Oh no, Chrisbrig. No way to get out.
No flash. He has no killer instinct. And Markoon just pops him.
Markoon is popping off on this Diana, in all honesty.
A 4-1 and 2. Got the proto belt. I mean, here's the replay of that last fight we've been waiting for.
You see they just moved straight onto the Dragon, but yeah, replay, sorry, and Kerberos goes in, and it's like this overcommit to try and make the fight work, and then this is the moment. Markoon finds the window, the flash into 4-man. And actually, Hattrix kind of messes it up a little bit, pulls some weight out of it, but either way, still, really nice ultimate from Markoon. He's been having such a good game on this Diana.
Yeah, he really has. Absolutely stellar game. As we head back into live, another turret will go down. That'll be the bot lane turret. Second turret for the side of BTXL. Ericsson still pretty strong right now. 201 on the Rise, 154 CS. Most in the game. And Hattrix might be walking into a couple of members of Nordavind. They're going to hold their nerve as Hattrix just going to get a little bit of harassment and maybe lose a minion for that. Or two. See the actual golds, actually. It's quite nice to everyone have a quick look at this. It is still a slight lead for Chrisbrig, but remember, Chrisberg's farming. Deadly isn't, so overall, XL happy with only be 500 down on their center. Absolutely wonderful for them.
Look at the gap in the jungle. 2,000 gold lead for Markoon. He's just been completely on fire this game.
Yeah, Sharp. You know, we kind of highlighted at the beginning of the game that he has the potential to have early impact on the Xin Zhao, and so far, not really been able to have that early impact. Hasn't really been able to do too much. He's 0, 1, and 3 right now. And XL just grouping up as 5. They've got the Rift Herald, and they're just going to force into this tower. Sharp going to eat the Tether from Deadly. They have to be careful. There's the Moonfall. Instantly shot goes low. They lock one down. Solar Flare's going to come in. Tactics comes in. Massive face breaker. Ripping through the health bars. There's now Curb trying to make something happen as the railgun's been fired. And Curb will lose his life. Advian secures the kill. XL just liquefy everybody on the side of Nordavind.
And BTXL are so strong, and they just group up in this death ball. The Karma keeps everyone healthy, as does the center. And these melee champions are just too bulky for Nordavind to take down with this power deficit. 5,000 gold lead down. They've taken down that mid lane tower, and BTXL firmly in control of this game.
You know, when they can just snap a fight like that, it's scary. And Marcoon had flash when he got that 4-man Moonfall off. Now it's about to come back up. So even more time where, well, even more opportunities for him to kind of find a punish. And there's actually not a single flash on the side of Nordavind right now.
And the thing is, Ericsson is mega fed, doing a fair chunk of damage, but he's so short range, he's not finding the windows to connect. And we can see that on the replay. So Nordavind want to try and defend this, but realistically, the Herald alone is enough to take it down. So see the engage coming from Marcoon. Sharp survives initially with the Crescent Guard, but goes back in, and then beautiful play coming out from Hatrix, defying Crispberg, but we don't have any time for that. Another engage coming in.
Moonfall. Crispberg is popped like a balloon. Down he goes.
Outplayed. Yeah, and that's what there is to it. A lot of base damage.
Ericsson still has a lot of wave clears. He's going to get jumped onto by Hatrix as the face breaker's used. There's still a shield onto Hatrix. Able to dodge away on the true damage part, but Ericsson being flanked, and Marcoon on a rampage. 5-1 and 6 on this Diana. This is just a Diana masterclass coming out from Marcoon.
I mean, the whole of XL are just playing so well. Nordavind keep trying to set up these wide map state positions where they'll have, you know, Kerberos in a side lane or Ericsson in a side lane, and they can just farm them up and slowly lead into the later stages of the game, but they're just not being given any windows. The dive power of this BTX composition is so good. They are so damn tanky, and I have that extra shielding and healing to the Karma and Stun. It just allows them to go for these plays where they're Tom Kench ulting underneath your tower and just able to take you out.
Even I didn't notice that flank. I was so focused on the Hatrix versus Ericsson 1v1 that I was not ready for that. As Curb actually just chilling here for the moment, decide to carry on with his recall and not jump in onto a Romeo, although cancels it once again. There is a ward in that Tribe Rush, and at the moment they've not been spotted out. They're looking for the opportunity. Touch finds a Rome, catches him with the Zenith Blade. Here comes the Realm Warp. And Ericsson a little late to the party, but Sharp is able to find that kill.
Nice pick though. They get a kill, gives them a little bit of momentum. They need to get back quickly to defend, but by taking one member off the map, BTXL shouldn't be as confident in theory for going for these aggressive plays. Although, to be honest, I could still see them trying to go for it. Right now, do you see them moving down? There is a TP available. Actually, a flank ward they could have gone for if they really wanted to. But I think, again, Nordavind respecting the power advantage for BTXL. They leave Ericsson on the top side, pushing the way. But now he's being TP'd onto by this set.
Yeah, I think Ericsson, this time you're in trouble. Teleports are coming in. Gonna get the root. Gonna go for the flash. The phase rush movement speed may have just bought him the space he needs. But Hatrix flashes and stride breakers. He ain't out, Orcs. He's going down. Arome flashes forward. Double. Everything is just fired out. That is going to be the end of days. As Deadly secured the kill with the railgun. And it is a Spawn Baron Nasher for the side of BTXL.
Sharp is easily be able to get into the pit just with his dash, so needs to try and steal this one ultimately.
Curb's coming in. They're looking for it. They're looking for the opportunity. It's low HP. Wind has become lightning, and Curb jumps in. Cyclone Solar Flare. One more combo. The Baron is stolen. Kerberos has done it. He's made the play work, but Nordavind will lose two. It was an honorable sacrifice. Crispberg has to flash the wall as Advian won't be able to find him.
You know, and you take that. Yes,
oh, yes, you
end up losing two members, but you take down a Romeo, you get the Baron. Absolute win there for Nordavind, all things considered. No right to do that. And honestly, just greedy for BTXL. No one zoning away the Xin Zhao over the wall. They end up getting engaged on by the Wukong, and this is just kind of the sloppy play we don't expect from the finalist of our last EU Masters.
Well, Curb stole it as well, so I really want to know what he did to steal it. Maybe it was just a cyclone tick. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, because I saw it. It was like just over 900 HP, and the smite hit, and then it like instantly after that went down. So I think it was like smite for 900 damage into Curb damage. You'll be able to get a replay so you can see it. So essentially, trapped in the pit, and if you keep your eye on the Baron health as it starts to go down, so it's closing in just about 1007, takes a bit of damage, and then the smite comes in and it's instantly just picked up. But it's that AoE, that constant tick damage of the Cyclone, able to get it. And yeah, you lose 2 members, you picked up one on the other side of BTXL, and you got that Baron, so a massive win. And critically, this shuts down a lot of the pressure for BTXL. They want that Baron to be able to push up, start taking those tier 2 structures and potentially threatening the base. They're no longer able to do so as easily without that objective. I will say, though, I'm looking at BTXL's items. They are looking scary, particularly that Senna with the Black Cleaver Divine Thunderer.
yeah. Serpent's Fang has been finished up for Curb, though, so he's got the ability to kind of pop through these shields and deal with the shielding coming in. You've also got 2 items now on your rise. Ericsson slowly ramping up in power. It's not like it's completely doomed for the side of Nordavind, but they are still behind right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough spot to be in. They really just need to sort of find...
Advin? Oh, it was a clone, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I was like, what's he doing?
It's the ultimate bait. Honestly, it's the ultimate bait.
It baited me.
Well played. But yeah, so I think seeing... Oh, this could be actually a tricky situation for Hat-Tricks.
Yeah, they've locked him underneath the tower. Big shield comes in. A lot of damage to follow. The railgun will keep him alive for the moment. Here comes Marcoon. Moonfall. They follow up, but Sharp is able to jump back in. Looks for the knockup onto Marcoon. Able to find it, but he will lose his life. A 1-for-1 jungler for the top laner. As Ericsson trying to recall is just going to have to realm warp to safety.
Honestly, I take that one. Get some extra gold coming from the shutdown. I believe Hat-Tricks for the small one. But trading 1-for-1 in these situations definitely good for Nordavind. Slows down the pressure from BTXL and Kerberos in a side lane, just pushing up himself. So I was so scared, by the way, that Sharp, when he went for the dash and got pulled back, he wasn't going to get the kill.
It was close. It was real close. That Moonfall almost stopped Sharp, but was able to find it in the end. Now the stopwatch has been picked up by Ericsson, so he's building towards his Zhonya's. Gives him a little bit more survivability. Getting close towards the Lord Doms as well, onto Chrisberg.
125 stacks on Deadly. Oof. I don't know if you saw it earlier today in the LCK, Jake, but there was a 70-minute game where a Senna got 293 stacks. Yeah.
Oh my lord.
And lost.
What? How? Didn't you have more range than a tower at that point?
I mean, it was up against the Varus, and the thing with the Varus is that even if you have 900 range on your auto attacks, his arrows still are much longer range than that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But unfortunately, Kai'Sa doesn't have massive arrows you can shoot a mile away. And Void Seeker is pretty easily negated by the front line.
Yeah. Long gone are the days where you'd finish up your build with a bit of AP to get those Void Seeker damage. As it looks like XL may just have been able to crack open the base here. Nordavind not quite ready as Markin flashes in for the Moonfall. Chrisberg able to kite away for the moment. Stopwatches have been used. Railgun dodged away. Solar Flare lands onto 2, but the Gobble Up is there. And Deadly is godlike. Down goes the carry. And Curb on the flank. He was not ready. He was not in the position. And XL, they might just be able to end the game here. They don't see where Curb is. They're going to walk the minions in. Curb has now jumped in. Chrisberg has to jump away. Great face breaker onto 2. And that is godlike. There's the knockup. There's the cyclone, but it's a little bit too little. And it's a little bit too late from you, Curb. Marcoon will lose his life. A double kill secured for him, though, as they lock down Kerberos, and Arome will be able to finish the kill up. XL absolutely slaughter Nordavind within their own base.
Yeah, and they cleared out the minion wave. It would have bought them time, but with Curb going down 7 seconds on Ericsson is a last hope to defend, but I don't think they're going to be given a window. BTXL looking to end this game here and now.
Turret's going to be going down to half HP. Here comes Ericsson. Can they hold? The wave is cleared and the Everfrost is used, but Advian's shielding is too much and Touch has to stop much. Ericsson now unloading as Deadly is working through him. That's the kill. Here comes Chrisberg trying to get the follow-up, trying to get the kill. Misses out on the ult Void Seeker, but the teleport screen down to Deadly. Teleports in for a double kill. Flashing forward into Sharp's face as Sharp jumps in onto Deadly, and that will be it. It will be a triple kill for Deadly. Chrisberg going solo and has to flash away to safety as they're looking for the quadra kill. They're going to jump in for the face breaker. Going to get the quadra kill. It might just be the pentakill here. Khan jumps away to safety. Excel are going for it, but they're losing people left, right, and center. It's a double kill being picked up by the Kaiser. Can Deadly get the quadra? Can he get the penta? The railgun's not going to be enough. Hattrick is going to try and give it to him, but he's unable to. They greed in for the penta. It doesn't matter. The Nexus will fall, and BTXL will take the win.
You got to respect the commitment going for that penta at the end. Hattrick's willing to commit everything, but we see BTXL with the clinical execution of Nordavind there. The bot lane advantage he had in the 2v2 significant, and Marcoon just absolutely on fire on this Diana. Honestly, just sad Trouble Link isn't here to see this, because I think that might be the MVP performance that she's always gone on about for Marcoon, because that was pretty 1v9, and then Deadly on the center, an absolute monster in the later stages.
Trouble is a bit of a fan of Marcoon and definitely having a great game.
Bit.
Do you know what I'm a fan of? Ad breaks. It's time for one. We'll see you after this.